Okay, let's go. You know, bullying, we have observed, is as old as the oldest secondary school in Nigeria, and it's not about to end. The gripping story of the reported bullying of 12-year-old Sylvester Oromoni of Dowen College at Lekki in Lagos has refused to go away. Lagos State Chief Coroner Justice Mojisola Dada has fixed 15th of January for the commencement of an inquest into the cause of the death of the hapless 12-year-old boy. Meanwhile, protesters, chiefly of the Lagos State chapter of the Ijaw Youth Council, have staged a protest in front of the college. They are enraged about the planned reopening of the college, and we need a lot less emotions and rationality. So we'll share updates on this story with you. Please sit back and watch this.
According to the DPP's advice, 2 autopsy examinations were carried out on the deceased. The first set to have been conducted on December the 2nd at the Central Hospital in Warri, Delta State, by the late Sylvester's parents, while the second was carried out on December the 14th at the Lagos State University Teaching Hospital, Ikeja. The DPP wrote that apart from the one conducted in Delta by the family, the other one at Lasot was done in the presence of pathologists representing the families of the accused and the deceased. Both outcomes were reportedly in agreement, and so the state found out that there is no prima facie case of murder, involuntary manslaughter, and/or maliciously administering poison with intent to harm against the students. The minors were also cleared for allegedly belonging to an unlawful society due to insufficient facts to establish the offense. Lagos State also cleared the school and 5 of its employees of the alleged offense of negligent acts causing harm. But the father of the deceased claims this decision is a product of conspiracy and vows to continue to fight until his son gets justice.
So the commissioner of police are now turned to a medical doctor, is now turned to the judge in the whole of this country to decide a criminal matter or a murder case of this nature. I'm not surprised. All of them conspired to do what they are doing. This is just the beginning of the matter. If God keep me alive for the next 30 years, if I don't have justice, this matter will drag for the next 30 years.
The Ijaw Youth Council also staged a peaceful protest outside Dowen College in Lekki Phase 1 to register its anger on the development, saying the suspects should be subjected to a trial in court. They also opposed the rumored plans to open the school.
If they open this school on Monday, the whole Ijaw nation will come, we will carry our school bags, we will carry our feeding bottles, we will carry our food, we will join them in the school. Let them bring armor tank here. Let them put armor tank one here, one in the gate, one in the hostel. We have the capacity. We will, if they don't give us justice.
Our kids are not safe, so peace must be brought to justice. Aside that, we the women of IYC Ijaw Nation, Lagos chapter, we are crying and we are behind the men solidly. But let us be far. Yeah.
The Oromoni family says it will press on in their quest to get justice for their late son by pursuing other legal options open to them. In the meantime, the school says it awaits further directives from the state government as to reopening for academic activities and making further statements on the matter. Kemi Foladeyemo, TVC News, Lagos.
Obviously, at this time, emotions are bound to run high. And of course, let's share what the Commissioner of Police in Lagos State had to say concerning the matter. And I'm talking about Hakeem Odumosu. He called for calm over the matter. And speaking with journalists on the issue this Friday, that's earlier on today, Odumosu insisted there was no prima facie case of murder regarding the death of Oromoni. We'll hear him. Listen to this.
Came out. The final one is that death was caused by septicemia following infections of the lungs and kidneys arising from the ankle wound. So they said. So no evidence of blunt force trauma in this body. The findings in the esophagus and stomach are not compatible with chemical intoxication. Finally, death in this case is natural. That's the final one of every other one is there. And the same thing too, the legal one opinion came out, all everything is written here, but said there is no prima facie case of murder, of involuntary manslaughter, and or malicious administering of poison with intent to harm on the deceased. That means that no case of murder, no case of involuntary manslaughter, no case of anybody deliberately so administer malicious, so poisonous liquid with the intention to harm the deceased. So with this one now from the legal opinion that no case of murder and no case of manslaughter are against them, and with the medical report that he died a natural death, and with the police that investigated, that's why the investigation have not seen anything that directly or indirectly lead them with those allegations. So we have any right under the law to keep on keeping them, and that's why they are released. So advice is that whoever that feels aggrieved should not take law into his own hand. There are so many ways to seek for redress. The law court is there, the medical association is there, and more importantly, there is coroner inquest being carried out. So we started on Saturday.
Gentlemen, we must discuss this matter in full. Tony, the Commissioner of Police has given his verdict, sort of, but it raises more questions than answers.
I would have expected him to wait for the inquest.
Yes.
I mean, why the hurry? Okay, I'm sure he's reacting to what Ijaw Nation were saying yesterday during the protest and all that. But would have waited. For me, I think they were quick to end this matter. The center of the whole thing is this bullying thing. And the names were mentioned. Of course, you may not have blood according to what the commissioner is saying. I don't want to go too detail into because of some obvious reasons. But names were mentioned by Sylvester before he died. The students that bullied him, that beat him up and all that led to those pains and eventual death. What happens to them? They are gone. And so I was expecting that Lagos would have used this opportunity to set, to put everybody in line, and so that because it's happening everywhere in Nigeria.
Remove doubts.
First and foremost, remove doubt.
Yeah.
But most importantly, send a strong message across all schools in Nigeria. I know you cannot stop it totally.
Yeah.
But they would have used this as a test case. We need to stop this because it's happening every day. I watched the mother on online video and all that crying, and she was cursing people who were supporting, with and all that, writing of the story and the case like that. And I sympathize with her and the entire family because I know what I know what I meant.
Obviously, we share the grief.
I know what I meant.
We share the pain.
It's painful. For me, the state was in a hurry.
I was in boarding school. Bullying never started yesterday, and it won't end day after tomorrow. But then it's taking an alarming dimension, and that's what Tony has just said. Get to the bottom of the matter. 5 names of 5 big boys were mentioned, and you don't weed them off like that.
You see, it's quite unfortunate that the matter is taking this dimension, okay? As already asserted by some of the suspects in the case. They said nothing will come out of this case. Write it down. Some of them said it. We saw it. We saw the WhatsApp chats by some of them. They said nothing. Jagba. That means he's dead and he's dead and nothing will happen.
So the guy is dead, to what avail?
That is the irony. And that is the more reason this Lagos state government must speak to the conscience of Nigeria.
Yes.
To the conscience of Nigerians that, look, this thing happened. This thing will never happen again. But unfortunately, with the situation at hand, I don't know why the Director of Public Prosecution and the police will just jump into conclusion like that. And it's straight in law that if the Director of Public Prosecution should say, oh, we cannot prosecute this case, that is where the case will end. But still, there is still coroner inquest to be done. And the report of the coroner inquest is yet to be done.
What happens after the inquest?
Inquest.
We must wait.
We must wait for the inquest. But the irony of the matter is that if the DPP can say, oh, we can't prosecute these people, let them go. That is the end of the case. But now, I don't know why the DPP will jump like that. I don't also know why the police will just jump like that. They're supposed to package all these reports. The reports of the autopsy that they did in data, the report of the autopsy they did in the presence of virtually everybody, the suspect, the family of Sylvester, the police, the Lagos State University Teaching Hospital, and others. And people, you know, specialists also came from ABU. Why can't you just pack it, go and defend all this report before the coroner inquest? I don't know.
Tony, you know, I recall that Friedrich Engels and his cousin Karl Marx talked about class warfare. So the warfare is still on.
It's still on.
It's still on.
Just as he said, some of those students said nothing will happen. And because, yes, I think that's 15, 16, that's the age. At 15, at that age, you're saying that nothing will happen because they live in Nigeria and they've seen how things work.
You know nothing will happen.
You know, they know nothing will happen. At age 15, a secondary school student, I think I read that WhatsApp chat, you know, communicating between the school at that level and the WhatsApp group and all that. If at that level, he's bold to tell you that nothing will happen and eventually that is what you're saying, that tells you that really there's a class war. Because in Nigeria, it gets to a level, you know, it can circumvent a lot of things and go scot-free.
Yeah.
If it has happened we know something, we know if it has happened in some school, in another level school,
bullying is different from school to school in sizes and
issues. There are some names mentioned, and we know those names. These are powerful people. From the onset, when this thing happened, Nigerians knew that this is how it's going to, this is the direction it will go. And you can say the father has been on this case because he sensed it. He knows the people involved, and he can tell that this is the direction this matter will go if I don't stand on the. And he heard him again when he said, if he's alive in the next 20 or 10 years, he's going to be on this. We will get justice on this matter. Yeah. Because you're fighting a class of people who believe that you can circumvent the law and go scot-free and nothing will happen. For me, it is too early for Lagos State to have concluded this matter and move on. Because what I'm saying is that we have moved on.
Yeah.
Can we move on? I mean, it's not done.
Yeah.
We're talking about a life here. Even if, we cannot continue to run the country this way. It's just justice. Why not wait for the coroner inquest?
Tony, we are joined by Momo. He's here in Lagos. Momo, I greet you. Good evening. Welcome.
Good evening, senior citizen, and good evening to my fellow other brothers in the studio, please.
Yeah.
Quick one, because I don't want to take time. I'm from Edo State, and Delta State and the Jaw nations, we're all Nigerians. But let's come to reality. I don't see where the police senior officer, meaning the commissioner of police, will become the chief justice of Lagos State. I'm not sure he's the right person to come to the media to tell us what has happened to that little boy. Then let me quickly put this question forward to you, sir.
Yeah.
How did the boy got the stuff he took? If actually said he actually drank aging oil, Who brought those things to the school? Was it the same person that brought them from home? Then the little man, the other little guys that said nothing will happen, actually nothing happened. And they are playing it to the gallery, to the whole world to see that the rich ones get away with anything they do, while the poor ones suffers the actual pains of this country today. And it's so painful. And I join hands with the John nations that school should be totally shut down by Monday. If they dare resume, the Edo people will join them up also. Because Edo and Delta, we are the same.
Thank you, Momo. Thank you, Momo. Well, you know, none of us here is a medical doctor, but the issue is very straightforward. If this boy was bullied to death, reportedly, it follows, therefore, you know, that the issue is followed to a logical conclusion. Otherwise, you are going to raise more emotion.
It's already raising more emotion.
Exactly, just like what's going
raising passion, you know, needlessly, when we can avoid it.
Yes.
I'm sorry about this. I'm sorry we have come. Remember, there was a case in Akwa Ibom involving another young boy. The case appears to have fizzled out. More like saying nothing will happen, Tony. In 2021 Nigeria.
You see, let's get something clear. I don't want to see this as a class war. Even if it's a class war. Well, let's see. It's not a class war. Because, like, you see, I don't have money to send my child to that school or my children to that school. How much is being paid in that school? Okay, Sylvester dad or family were able to afford it. Equally, the other people there, their family were able to afford the payment of the school fees. They belong together in the same class. It's not a matter of the poor against the rich, but the most powerful.
Otherwise,
it's a case of the most powerful
hold on.
against the less powerful.
No, Bola, but
the most richest,
connected. If we are all mates, we attend the same school, like this school in question, it means our parents can afford it.
Yes, can
so
afford it.
That puts us on an even keel. But that does not say a child whose parent is grade A must mess with me because I'm grade C and all that. So there's still the class war, which you are running away from.
Within the school, there's still the class war.
Within the class war.
Don't let us
level and level.
You see, yes, if you say about level,
within the school, yes.
But in as much as that, you see,
level that class.
In that class. Then another thing is this. Well, I'm looking at it that I don't have the watts, the money. That any of the parents, you know, has to send any of those kids to that school. Fine, maybe I'm looking at it from that perspective. But the issue is this, whether it's class war, there's a moral problem there. The moral problem that we should look at is that the Lagos state government should not look at the criminality of the matter. The supposed criminality, only the criminality on the first follow. Because it's raising dust and it's raising emotion already over there. Because some of the, I would say the brats, said it, they accepted. Go to anywhere, nothing will come out of this. And we are seeing the semblance of that. Now, we are seeing the semblance of that.
It's happening already.
That is the only thing that we
all right, Bola, let's take Elder Dare from Kaduna. Elder, I greet you. Welcome.
Good evening, citizen. Happy New Year to you guests.
Happy survival.
Thank you so much, sir. You see, when you watch the composure of the Lagos State Police Commissioner, it's like there is no remorse. A life is involved here. I would have expected the Lagos State Commissioner to be there with at least a medical team and maybe somebody from the court. But, you know, just look at the way he reel out the reports. We're talking about life here. And a parent's precious child has just died. And the Lagos State Police Commissioner is just talking as if nothing is at stake. My plea is, let all well-meaning Nigerians rise up to this occasion, because it's a test of our resolve. An injustice to one is an injustice to all. So Nigerians, let's rise up to this occasion and stop this act of injustice. Can you imagine the kind of trauma that these parents are going through?
Thank you, Elder. Bola, you see, if men were as stubborn in proportion to how they are right, things like this would be, we can't go through it. We should not go through things like this, because there will be many more Sylvester Oromonis waiting in the wings. Let's deal with the problem here. Bullying. Nobody, I hear even in Oyibo country they have bullies and so on. But bullies. When they raise bullying, which ordinarily should be amongst boys of the same ilk, to a crazy extent, to a crazy level, then something should strike a chord in us. I'm sorry it's taking this shape.
You see, I can feel your pain. I can also feel the pain of the Sylvester parent and everybody. You see, even in the Western world, in the US, anywhere the issue of harassment and bullying,
bullying,
that they raise it like that, it strikes a chord. And you see the media, you see the people coming out, supporting the person that they bullied or the person they harassed. Are we getting that?
Now the Commissioner of Police has, in a manner of speaking, passed moral judgment. So what is the inquest doing?
That means you can preempt. He's preempting the outcome of the inquest.
And even the DPP, the DPP equally is preempting.
So that's the problem. See, this thing happens all the time. And I won't be happy if this thing goes this way. Let's be sincere with ourselves. If this whole thing goes this way, I don't understand the hurry. The commissioners, coming on air today to give that press conference and closing that case. Because for me, he is closing that case so he can move on. We can't continue to run the country this way. Because it will happen again. Yesterday it was Sylvester. Tomorrow, who's next? We all seated here. We have people in these schools. What will happen again? It will go this same way. Can we just do things differently and get different results for once in this country? What? I don't understand. We can't. And I was thinking Lagos will be different. You did the two autopsy, one in Delta and in Lagos, and you're closing the case just like that.
I'm sorry. We don't all need, there's no law that will compel me to like Bola or Tony, but we must respect ourselves.
And the humanity in us must always speak.
We are humans, first of all, members of the human family. I'm sorry. I wish that justice will prevail at the end of the day, and will sheet all this sorts. I feel miffed about this thing.